Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, reveal the books I bought this week, and, if I screw up, a blooper reel. Oh. Sorry, y'all. Today is National Pancake Day. And I decided, since it's National Pancake Day, I was going to go ahead and get my fill. I just wanted to share that with y'all. Okay, now this weekend and yesterday, I went to Clint's Comics and Southern Realms Comics and Games and the Books A Million here in Monroe, respectively. There were, I mainly went to Clint's Comics to, because it was the last day of their 25% off sale. Then I went to Southern Realms, bought one book, and then I bought 3 books from Books A Million. Now I'm going to reveal these books, but I'm not going to give a brief description of these. All right, here we go. First up is the Unworthy Thor number 4. Teen Titans number 5. U.S. Avengers number 3. The Mighty Thor number 14. The Mighty Thor number 15. The Mighty Thor number 16. Deadpool number 24. Deadpool number 25. Deadpool number 26. Deadpool number 27. And finally, Deadpool number 28. Alright, now that's 11 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,803. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you for Clint's Comics right here in Monroe, Louisiana. And episode 155. 45 episodes away from episode 200. And from what you saw in that extra scene that I just did, I'm less than 200 away from 8,000 comics. More than likely, I'm probably going to get to 8,000 comics before I get to the 200th episode. But anyway, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. And for right now, give away a free t-shirt. In last week's episode, I asked, who created Superman? Well, the answer is Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Now, in the comics, as of the last few years, it'll say Superman is created by Superman created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster with special arrangement from the Jerry Siegel family. But anyway, 4 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in a drawing for a free tee, and that takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Otis Thompson from Homer, Louisiana. So congratulations, Otis. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right. Here's the question for next week's episode. What country was the superhero team Alpha Flight based out of? Now here's the hint. A majority or a little less than half of the NHL resides in this country. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tea in next week's episode. Now, I just want to go ahead and say this in regards to the free tea giveaway segment. If you know the answer to the question, answer it correctly. If you don't know the answer to it, don't. I've had way too many people give me these moronic answers. And this has been a weekly occurrence for the last few months. Look, I work very hard to do this show every week, to bring this to you. And, you know, I go out of my way. And it really upsets me whenever folks decide they want to be a moron and post all these dumb answers. Just answer the question correctly. It's not that hard. Anyway, D'Angelo Blue from Warren, Ohio has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one is kind of different. It's a comic book character versus a cartoon character that was co-created, or should I say created by Ted Turner and Barbara Pyle. At first, I kind of raised an eyebrow when he sent me this request, but now that I think about it, it might actually work out. Representing Marvel, we have Storm. And representing Turner Entertainment, we have Captain Planet. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Storm versus Captain Planet. Storm possesses weather manipulation and ecological empathy. Captain Planet possesses flight, super strength, and manipulation and absorption of all 5 elements of the universe. Who would win? There'd be no boots on the ground in this fight. Captain Planet would start out by attempting to douse Storm with water, but Storm evaporates the water with a bolt of lightning. Storm would then throw wind at Captain Planet. This also proves to be unsuccessful due to the latter being able to manipulate and absorb wind. Captain Planet then says, "It looks like I'll have to put you down once and for all, lady." He douses her with fire, thus knocking her out. He then digs a 50-foot hole into the ground, throws Storm into the hole, and covers the hole with the dirt he dug out. Captain Planet wins. But wait! It's no secret that Storm is extremely claustrophobic. She would rip through the ground and beat Captain Planet to a pulp, going untouched. She knows that alone won't beat him, so he grabs him and takes him to a nearby toxic waste site. She dumps him there and he starts to suffer a power drain. She then strikes lightning at a pollution-filled cloud, thus creating acid rain. Knowing he's defeated, Captain Planet tells the Planeteers, "Planeteers, I've lost. The power is yours." Before the elements that make up Captain Planet re-enter the Planeteers' rings, Storm destroys the rings by striking lightning at them. She then concludes by saying, "No! It's mine!" Storm wins. And that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Of course, you know Storm was going to win that. Sorry, Captain Planet. The power isn't anyone's but Storm's. Well, okay, I hope you enjoyed the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight. If you have a fight request for future episodes, contact info is down there. Alright, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Nova number 3. Now, in the previous issue, well, what happened? Well, really, I have to go back to the first issue of the series. Richard Rider is somehow back from the dead, and he runs into Sam Alexander. Sam helps. They help each other to be better Novas, and they end up going to the somewhat planet slash head called Nowhere, and they visit with Richard Rider's old friend Cosmo. Now, Cosmo is a dog who was raised by a Russian scientist who is telepathic and talks with a Russian accent and can speak Russian. Yeah, kind of odd, is it? But then, just as things were going well, these three bounty hunters decided, okay, we found what we came for, and they beat them up and they take them back with them. This is a continuation of that. All right, next up is Detective Comics number 952. Now this is, I'm still a little behind on this book. Well, what I can tell you is that Batman has assembled a team. Now the team originally consisted of him, Red Robin, Spoiler, Orphan, Clayface, and Batwoman. Well, Red Robin at the end of the first story arc called Rise of the Batman, he ends up vanishing into thin air, and the team presumes him dead, although he really isn't. He was actually caught by the Reaper, who also has something to do with the with some story arcs going on in the pages of Superman. But then Duke Thomas, who was one of the leaders in the I Am Robin book, becomes part of the Bat Team, and I'll let you know what happens, and that's where I left off. But this is a continuation from that and from previous issues, and I'll let you know what happens in a future episode. All right, next up is Spider-Man number 13. Now, in previous issues, his father had decided to be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and had proved himself worthy of being an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. again, making him one of few people who have ever left S.H.I.E.L.D. only to come back. And his Spider-Man is still dealing with the vision that he saw of himself killing the Steve Rogers Captain America during Civil War II. And now this is part 3 of Sitting in a Tree, where he ends up forming a romantic relationship with Spider-Gwen. And speaking of Spider-Gwen, next up is Spider-Gwen number 17. This is part 4 of Sitting in a Tree. Now, I'm still a little... Now, with this one, I also am behind on Spider-Gwen. I haven't read an issue since after the Spider-Women crossover event with Silk and Spider-Woman. Well, bear with me, folks. I'll get caught up. All right, next up is Action Comics number 975. This is part 2 of Superman Reborn. Now, in Superman number 18, the so-called Clark Kent from the New 52 universe shows up, and he delivers a package to Lois, Clark, and John in Hamilton County. Now, he rings the doorbell. John answers the door, finds the package, and finds out it was a book. It was a photo album of their entire life. Now, how did this so-called Clark get a hold of it is beyond me, although I think that Reaper character has a lot to do with it. But after reading it, everything starts to vanish into thin air. The house they lived in vanished into thin air, and worst of all, John vanished into thin air. And they're left devastated, and this is a continuation of that. All right, next up is Superwoman number 8. Now, who is Superwoman, you might ask? Well, it starts out as 2 of them. First, it was a Lois Lane from the New 52 universe. Then it was a Lana Lang of the New 52 universe. But at the end of the first issue, a Bizarre-like character kills the Lois Lane Superwoman, and leaving Lana to be the sole Superwoman. But over time, the powers that she and Lois had received after the New 52 version of Superman's death had started making her ill, and now she's fighting for her life. And this is a continuation of that, and also a tie-in with Superman Reborn. All right, next up is Wonder Woman number 18. Now, this is part 2 of Godwatch. And what's going on in this one is that these two twin bad guys had shown up, and they show up. They first show up in a museum, and they robbed a little girl of her face. And Wonder Woman is having none of that, and is about to put a stop to both of them. Now, the one thing that I like about this book, it's written by Greg Rucka, but he has alternating story arcs. In the Odd Number book, you have the Odd Number book is penciled by Liam Sharp, and the Even Number books are penciled by Nicola Scott. Now, the first story arc was called The Lies. In the Odd Number books, it was called The Lies, and then in the Even Number books, it was called Year One. Now it's their new story arcs: The Truth in the Odd Number of books, and Godwatch in the Even Number of books. I don't know what Rucka's up to, but it works. All right, next up is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, number 16. Now, they've defeated Larfleeze. And now that Hal Jordan's come back, and he's thinking, well, both he and Kyle come back, and all of a sudden they're a little surprised when finding out that the Green Lanterns have formed a truce with the Sinestro Corps. As a matter of fact, the Sinestro Corps aren't even calling themselves the Sinestro Corps anymore. They're calling themselves just Yellow Lanterns. And Kyle and Hal take off, much to the chagrin of Jon Stewart. And they try to find, they go to this planet where there's absolutely no hope whatsoever, and they find St. Walker. And the planet is about to come undone, and it's up to them to take care of business, and this is a continuation of that. All right, next up is Supergirl number 7. Now, this book, what I like about it, they're combining elements of the New 52 universe with the TV series that comes on the CW. And for the most part, it works. It really does. And as Supergirl's been having to deal with her father, Zor-El, now as the cyborg Superman. That's right, folks. Hank Henshaw is not the cyborg Superman in the New 52 universe. Zor-El is. And he's trying to bring Supergirl back to... Now, he claims that he rebuilt or recreated Krypton. She's not buying it. But then she ends up on the planet, and all of a sudden she's all in her feels. And then she snaps out of it and thinks, oh no, you built this, you can't bring these people back. And this is a continuation of that. And then finally, New Superman number 9. This is part 1 of Coming to America. Now, the New Superman is this Chinese kid named Kong Kenan, who is a bully. He wasn't bullied, he was the bully. And then all of a sudden the scientist thinks, okay, I want to make a superhero out of this guy. And which he does. He becomes a new Superman. He becomes a Superman of China. And he learns he has to learn what responsibility is. And it is actually started into the Justice League of China just to help with his power development. And after this story arc in Superman, the Superman from the pre-Flashpoint DC universe has invited this Superman to Metropolis. And this is what this is about. All right, that's 10 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,813. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode. What country did the superhero team Alpha Flight reside in? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode. And congratulations to Otis Thompson from Homer, Louisiana, who won a free tee in this week's episode. All right, it's birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show, and happy birthday this past Monday to the most important woman in my life. If it weren't for her, I would not be living here on this earth. My mother, Nelwanda Nunley. So happy birthday, Mom. Love you. And happy birthday yesterday to a receptionist at Bayou Dental Group, Beth Cubido. she's a loyal fan of the show, and so is her husband Taz. So happy birthday, guy! Happy birthday, Beth! And happy birthday today to one of my friends who I had the privilege to be in band with at ULM, Angelica Hale. Happy birthday, Angelica! Happy birthday tomorrow to someone else I was in band with, Larry Bursey. Happy birthday, Larry! Happy birthday on Saturday to my old Sunday school teacher, Reverend Kaylin Walker. Happy birthday, Pastor Walker. And happy birthday on Friday to another loyal fan of the show and a guy that I was in band with at Bossier Parish Community College, Michael England. Happy birthday, Michael. All right. Had fun. Let's do this again next week. So till then, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 156 right back here at Clint's Comics. So till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode. What country was the superhero team Alpha Flight? Dang it.